it's Hailey, and today is Bookmas Day 17, so I'm going to be talking about the book-to-movie adaptations that came out this past year. Before we get into the video, don't forget to click that subscribe button and then click the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I'm putting up a new video every single day for the entire month of December, so you don't want to miss any of those. And I will also have the Bookmas playlist linked down below so you guys can get caught up. Yesterday for Bookmas Day 16, I reacted to negative reviews of some of my favorite books from 2021, so it was fun to get roasted, but you guys can click down below to watch that as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have been so completely out of touch with things, but there actually have been quite a few adaptations that came out this past year. I feel like there's like a couple that come to mind that I remember, but most of these I was like, oh, didn't even know that happened. These aren't in any particular order or anything, but the first one that of course is like the number one that comes to mind is the Shadow and Bone books. So they were adapted into a Netflix TV show, and the Netflix TV show was so well done. I really enjoyed it. I thought the actors did a fantastic job, and it was interesting. I feel like if I had read Six of Crows more recently, I probably would have been a little bit disappointed by it, because it does like completely change things. It changes the Crow storyline and everything, and certain characters aren't included like as much as they are in the original books, but that might be like, it has been renewed for a second season, so that might be to come still. But I know that the first season covers the first book, and then it just like takes some things from Six of Crows, which essentially is mostly just characters, and it's an interwoven story where you have those two stories happening simultaneously. I actually watched this with my boyfriend and he enjoyed it as well, so it was really well done, and I'm so glad that Leigh Bardugo was able to get like such a good adaptation. Netflix does a great job with adaptation. A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. So this was adapted into a Netflix movie, and it just came out because it's a Christmas movie. It is a Santa Claus origin story, and that is so exciting to me. I actually had the opportunity to like participate in an online screening, but I was working, so I didn't get the chance to actually participate. I only caught like the tail end of things, so then I didn't watch it because I didn't want to spoil myself. But it is definitely a movie that I am going to watch. I love Christmas movies, can't get enough of them, can't get enough of Christmas in general. So a Santa Claus origin story, like, I think it's gonna be good. I'm really excited for it. I mean, Netflix did another Santa Claus origin story that was literally like, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies, and it came out 2 years ago. Klaus was so, oh my god, I loved that one so much, and I really wasn't expecting to, but it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm hoping that this will be a really good adaptation and Christmas story as well, and Santa Claus origin story at that. I haven't read the book, but I definitely am really intrigued by the movie. Just a little update for you guys from my very messy office, please ignore, but I did actually end up watching this movie, and I thought it was really cute. It also was surprisingly sad. It was a lot more sad than I was expecting, but I thought that they did a really great job with it, and I really enjoyed it overall. So definitely worth the watch, and I just love Christmas movies, so it was bound to be one that I enjoyed. But honestly, I ended up watching it sooner than I was expecting to, because my parents texted me and said they had watched it and really liked it, and it was really good. Next is The Wheel of Time. So this adaptation came out quite recently, and it is adapted on Amazon Prime, and I might watch this one. It is an epic fantasy adaptation, so like the Wheel of Time books are very well known, but I feel like my hesitance is kind of, I watched The Witcher and I hadn't read the book or anything, but I didn't really like The Witcher all that much. I felt very confused, and I didn't realize until like my boyfriend told me, because he had played the video games, that it was like two timelines or whatever happening at once, or it wasn't all on the same timeline. Like, it had me very confused. So I'm hoping that this series won't be that. Also keep in mind, like, I didn't watch Game of Thrones or anything, so I don't tend to like big long fantasy series. I'm not a huge like TV or movie person, so when I'm watching something, I want it to be like light and fluffy and fun for the most part. Although, I mean, I do really love Shadow and Bone, so I guess I'm just a liar. This is starring Rosamund Pike though. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything, but I think she was in a Gillian Flynn adaptation. I just don't know which one. I think it was Gone Girl, but I don't know. I totally forgot to say A Boy Called Christmas has Maggie Smith and Kirsten Wiig in it. So that's like an A++ cast. And also it's based on a middle grade book. I meant to specify, but I didn't have my notes out quite yet. Next is The Hating Game. So this is based on the book by Sally Thorne, and the adaptation is coming out December 10th. So it's not December 10th when I'm filming this, although it will have been a week now since it's come out when you guys are seeing this video. I don't know if it's coming out in theaters or on a streaming service. I couldn't really find anything about that. And I was surprised that it's coming out December 10th because it doesn't seem like, I haven't seen any advertisements for it or anything, but I guess it is actually coming out. This is starring Lucy Hale and Austin Stowell, and it is an enemies to lovers romance, of course. It's an office enemies to lovers romance, and I really enjoyed it, actually. It's one of the few enemies to lovers romances that I have really liked, so I am eager to see this adaptation. I'm curious like where it's coming out. I don't know if it's not like a big production company who's doing it or something. I don't really know. Next is Station 11, which has been adapted into an HBO Max show. I don't know if it's already out or if it's to come out because I haven't really heard all that much about it. And that book is really popular, so I'm kind of surprised I haven't really heard about it. But also, I'm very out of touch with everything, so that might explain it. But this book is a post-apocalyptic world. If you knew how many times I just tried to say that, it was far too many. But it is about the days of civilization's collapse, and you're following a Hollywood star, their would-be savior, and a nomadic group of actors, and they are roaming the outposts of the Great Lakes region and risking everything to keep art alive. So that seems really interesting. I know I have kind of had this book on my radar and been wanting to read it, but I mean, then it became too much like reality and I was no longer interested. Next, there's actually a Macbeth adaptation that came out in 2021. I think this one was actually coming out in December, but I don't quite remember. But I really should have written down the dates for all of these, but I only did it for some of them, which was really dumb of me. But I got up at 5 this morning, so I'm tired, okay? But it is a Macbeth adaptation that is starring Denzel Washington. That is going to be amazing. Like, I don't know who's playing Lady Macbeth or anything. It just said Denzel Washington and then the other names I didn't recognize, so I only wrote down the names that I did recognize, which I should have just written down everyone, but oh well. But I would love to see Denzel Washington in Macbeth. Like, that's gonna be intense. Next is Firefly Lane, which is an adaptation of the book by Kristen Hanna, who's the author of The Nightingale, but this is starring Katherine Heigl and I forget who else, but it's a Netflix adaptation, and it starts in the summer of 1974 when these two girls meet. The one is like not popular at all, and then the cool girl moves on to her street and they become best friends, and this is following them through like 3 decades of their friendship and the life, like just living life. So I don't know if this is out already because I haven't seen it at all, but I'm definitely going to have to look into that. Next is Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. So this adaptation came out in February and I still need to watch it. I haven't quite gotten there yet. To be honest, I haven't even watched P.S. I Still Love You yet. I need to like sit down and have a little like movie marathon, but the thing is, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of movies. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of movies is because my attention span is horrible. So I can't just like sit there and watch a movie. I need to be like doing something else. So usually I have it on for background noise when I'm like writing, or well, not writing, but when I'm planning videos or whatever. So I just can't sit there and just like watch a movie and have that be the only thing that I do, because I just don't have the attention span for it. So that's why I'm never like, oh, I should put on a movie. I'd much rather like put on a TV show that I can just play in the background, like Bob's Burgers, Schitt's Creek. Those are classics for me. So oh well. Next is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, which was adapted into a movie, Chaos Walking, and this was starring what I almost called him Tom Hiddleston, but that's not his name. What is his name? Zendaya's boyfriend. What is his name? Spider-Man. It's not Tom Hiddleston. That's Loki. Now I want to call him Peter Parker, but that's not his freaking name. What the heck? Tom Holland. Oh my god, that's why. Wow. I should have known that because I'm Dutch. I mean, just because Holland is like a part of the Netherlands, that's why I say that. Anyways, so if you're unfamiliar with the Chaos Walking books, which I haven't read them, but I need to watch this movie still because it does seem really interesting, and also I really do love Tom Holland, even though I forgot his name. But it is a world where there was like this pathogen that wiped out pretty much everyone, all females, and the only people who have survived are men, and then there's like one boy, and this is following the boy, and he's about to become a man, but he discovers that these men that he lives with in his town are actually hiding a lot from him, so he goes with his dog and he disappears. Also, they can read each other's thoughts after this like pathogen went through, but he ends up meeting someone who is silent, like he can't hear their thoughts, and it's actually a girl. So dun dun dun. And the final book to movie adaptation for this year, I don't know if there are any that I missed, there probably are, but you guys can comment them down below, but it is Dune by Frank Herbert. So this adaptation came out quite recently, got a lot of buzz. It's starring the dude, I think it's the dude who was in Little Women, I don't remember, Timothée Chalamet, I believe is his name. I'm just gonna get like absolutely destroyed in the comments of this video, I'm so sorry, but Zendaya's also in it. But this is a sci-fi epic, so I would maybe watch the movie, but the book doesn't really appeal to me because I struggle with sci-fi, and like having a big epic sci-fi, I'm just like, that seems like a lot, and realistically like something I would never actually read. But it's set on this desert planet, and it follows an heir to a noble family who is tasked with ruling the inhospitable world. I'm having so many struggles with speaking today, but I've seen kind of mixed reviews about that movie, so I don't know how it really is. Hello, me again. I actually realized later that I totally forgot that there was an adaptation that came out of There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, which is like a horror novel. It was kind of based on old horror movies, and that came out as an adaptation on Netflix in October. I don't know how I forgot about it, but it kind of feels like no one was talking about it, so I guess it just slipped my mind. I probably won't watch it just because I don't like horror, but I did read the book, and it was okay. Like, it was fine, but it's, like, I don't like horror, so it wasn't exactly made for me. I just feel like the adaptation might freak me out more than I would like. So those are all the book to movie adaptations that have come out this past year. Tomorrow for Bookmas Day 18, I'm going to be talking about book to movie adaptations that are coming out in 2022, so the ones that we have to look forward to. I swear, I took better notes and everything. Also, I mean, it was quite a bit easier to find information for these. For some reason, it's so hard. I mean, no, that's not true. It's not so hard. I just didn't write down release dates and then got myself all confused. But don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss tomorrow's video. And what else? I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I'll have the Bookmas playlist link down below. That's what I was going to say. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another new video tomorrow. Bye.